Howdy, and welcome to the Feed Bandit podcast, where we talk all things hunting and introduce you to innovative hunting products and services. If you want to level up your hunting game and gear, be sure to join the hunt. To join the hunt, text the word BANDIT to 345-345. And when you do, you'll join our email list, where we'll send killer deals on innovative hunting products and services, along with entertaining tips and tricks straight to your inbox. Again, text the word BANDIT to 345-345, and we look forward to seeing you on the hunt. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast. Jimmy and Richard here with you tonight. How you doing, Corn Bandit?
Oh, buddy, I am on cloud. I'm on cloud 410. I'm speechless. I'm like a kid at Christmas. It is almost here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it can't be because of what week it is it?
Oh my God! Of course, here's the problem. You know, I'm all nimble bimble and all excited and stuff, and you know, I get out there Sunday and pitch a 0, and I'm like, I hate this one. I'm gonna burn it down. And no, I am so pumped. The sunsets are changing. Everything is okay. We're gonna be all right. I am so pumped.
You sound like me. We'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So So for those who don't know, which is majority of people who listen to this, when Texas Tech is losing by like 50 points at the fourth quarter, Jimmy will be like, "Hey, well, I think we'll be fine. We'll be all right." Like, how are we going to be all right?
It's what keeps me sane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's funny. My wife, or Laura, read something on, I guess, Instagram or whatnot of a meme or whatever, and
Right.
It said something to the effect of, some girl was saying, "Oh, great! It's now the end of August or beginning of September. Now my husband will turn into like a 2-year-old screaming at the television, thinking he's a coach, yelling at these 19-year-olds that have no idea he exists."
Exactly. Yeah, I think one of our friends said it best. He says, "We're awful dumb for putting our health in jeopardy in the hands of a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds." I said, God, that is so true.
Our emotional health,
stability. Oh yeah.
In the big games, our heart health. All that stuff.
God, awful.
Yeah,
awful. Of course, the last couple of years have been a little bit easier when you go into the game kind of thinking, might not win this one. So it's a little easier to swallow, but
yeah. Hey, can you imagine if you were? We always say this. It's like, what's it like to be an Alabama fan? I mean,
oh yeah.
And the funniest thing in the world is when they lose a national championship game.
Yeah.
They're all like, it's like they're acting like it's the end of the world.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, don't worry about it. I mean,
try being a Tech fan.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, I've always said it's not easy being a Tech fan. It's really tough, but that's okay because we're diehard. We love them, and for any of them listening, which I'm sure every one of them is listening right now, good luck. Wreck 'em Tech. I can't wait. We should beat
our game's not on TV though, is it?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, it is? I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? It's on like, I think we bought airtime on some religious channel that was, not airing something. So
say Fox Sports 19 or something.
Yeah, exactly. 3 p.m. versus the Central Montana something or another.
So Montana State, right?
Yeah, Montana State. Yeah.
Whatever their is.
Yeah, what's crazy is that we can watch the game. I mean, think about this. When was the last time we were able to watch a Tech game on opening weekend and not have to listen to it on our phones?
That's true. And we don't have to stay sober.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna be cooking the brisket, so
so
God, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I am so excited. I mean, this is what it's all about. College football, Texas high school football. God, 95 degrees. Are you kidding me? I mean, what's not to like? I love it. So,
right.
Man, it's time. It's
awesome.
time.
Well, I mean, today, we wanted to dive into that time,
Yes.
Dove season, right?
Yes.
But before we do, I just want to put it out on the record. that today we learned we're having a girl.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Julie's screaming from the laundry room. That's awesome. Dude, congrats.
Thank you.
Look at you. You've got the normal, all you need is the white picket fence. You got your boy and your girl and your dog, and that's going to be great, dude. I love it. Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I had to put that in here for posterity's sake.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, God, wait till my girl's here. They're in bed right now, but oh my, they're gonna hit the roof.
Yeah, it's pretty
exciting. Cool. Oh, absolutely. Fantastic. All right. Beautiful. Well, congrats, buddy. And thanks, congrats to the missus as well.
I will relay that.
Man, awesome.
Why we are here, and that is for the tasty little bird that flies through the air.
Yeah,
we'll get the
symbol of peace. We're going to give him a bacon jacket. Yeah.
Where do you want to start? I think we wanted to talk about just, I don't know. I mean, getting pumped up for the season to come. I guess give each other some refreshers. Just kind of bull on it, right?
Well, yeah, I was thinking we could start kind of just because I remember it's kind of fresh in my head, comparing this year's conditions to last year's conditions at Rancho Bandito and what we were faced with, so on and so forth. Just to kind of give all the listeners, a good perspective of kind of how we were looking into the whole thing, into the 2018 season and how it really turned out. The 2018. I remember the weekend, so it would have been this weekend last year, we went and scouted one of the big tanks that we hunt over. And oh my God, they were just, we need an air traffic controller. There were so many dove. It was unfreaking believable. And that was fantastic because we didn't have any natural sunflower. We didn't have any snow on the mountain, which is a croton, which is one of dove's favorite food. We just didn't have a lot of food, period. And it was just so dry out there. It was really bad. If you go look at some of the other pictures from that time, and the dock there on that main tank near the house was all the way down. It was bad. So water was really prime real estate. And so that was last year. This year it's a lot different. This year at Rancho Bandito, where we hunt, we've got a lot of sunflower. Which we have not had in probably about 4 or 5 years now. And I contribute that to really an overgrazing of cattle. People people obviously realize, but native sunflower is a weed,
Mm-hmm.
So in order to get that weed to come up, you've got to kind of knock back the grass. And a lot of the times where you've had heavy equipment or a lot of disturbing of the soil constantly where grass can't grow, you're going to get those weeds to grow up, and the sunflower is one of them. So we had we intentionally put cattle out there, a lot of them, I should say, and they're called Corrientes, which are a type of cattle. They're almost like a gigantic goat. They eat a lot of the stuff that your prim and proper Angus won't touch. So they're fantastic for really hammering a place back, especially on a pasture that's got a bunch of undesirables. So as far as grass species is concerned to eat. Mm-hmm. So just at Rancho Bandito last weekend. My first time since June, kill me. So it was so great to be down there. Even it was 105, literally feel your face melting off. I didn't care. It was great. But again, so a lot more sunflower out there this year. Unfortunately, at least for opening weekend, it's probably not going to be 100% ready to but I know some of those seeds are probably fallen. So hopefully later in the season, the birds will really be all over them. The tank itself has got a lot of good water in it. So, and we did see a few birds flying around. So, I am cautiously optimistic. I'd say definitely more excited about this year's season than last year. So, the one thing that does kind of bother me, and Jimmy and I were just talking about before we got started here. Today in Dallas, it was 104. It's kind of like the coup day, the final blow, if you will, of the heat, right? Well, tomorrow in Dallas is going to be 83. All right, so obviously that's a cool front, and boy, let me tell you, that's a double-edged sword when it comes to bird hunting, the migratory birds, and we've talked about it a million times. Yeah, you love it because it will bring you influxes of new birds. All right, but for example, when we were down there this weekend, we had 15 teal already in August in Texas, which is just kind of bizarre. Obviously it cools things down, but then again, it can push dove out. So, all those local birds, that grew up there, that hatched there around the Rancho Bandito could move on. I don't think it'll be, personally, I don't think it'll be that big of a change, a fluctuation in temperature, because down there, it's not going to be as cool compared to here, and I use cool in air quotation marks. I'm sure it's going to feel like the freaking Vietnam up here, the humidity. But it could be a bad thing. So
I wonder how if sometimes later on in the season when it's like an obvious cold front, it's like really cool and whatnot. If that like is a bigger effect later on than it is now, when it's still, we say cool front, but it's still 80s.
Oh yeah. It's more of I think it definitely is. I don't know the scientific stuff behind it, but I know that when they feel that first little change, they get up and move. That's when the ducks and geese do. They get up and go. It'll be interesting. It will be very interesting. I'd be curious to see if we get into any migratory dove. The migratory dove, or is my dad and his friends used to call them the Kansas birds. They're always from Kansas. They're never in Oklahoma. They're always from Kansas.
Right.
One of the square states. You can tell them they're just a lot bigger. And they'll fall for mojos a lot. They're just kind of stupid sometimes. So
that reminds me.
Anyways,
thank you for saying that. I forgot my mojo last year. Basically every time I went hunting.
Yeah.
Every time I'd say, "Damn, when I get back there, put it back in there while you're thinking about it." And of course, I never would. So I'm making a note right here, now. Pack mojo.
Why didn't you keep it in your? Why didn't you keep it in your Mac County?
Well, I never put it in there because remember I bought that last year.
Oh, really?
I just forgot to put it in there. So
God, you're a Cole. You know that? I love you, but come on, you're a 4.5-year-old 6-point for doing that. Dumb.
Yeah. Nope. I have it written down here now, so that will not be repeated. So
how many mojos do you hunt with?
Usually I just have that one, the battery powered one. But last time when I was at the JB3, interestingly enough, perfect timing.
Right.
Come to find out, I brought some other ones home that my uncle and some cousins didn't want anymore because they ended up kind of upgrading to those. But so I have several others like the how Matt has the one that the wind rotates the wings. I have one of those now. I have another battery powered mojo that I just need to put together. But essentially they had this pile of different pieces, literally.
Right. I love it.
I need to build one basically.
So it was a mojo junkyard.
It was, yeah. And of course, they tweaked mojos kind of each year or every other year or something with different kind of attachments. So it's literally it was like a mojo boneyard or something, or something. I tried to pick the best pieces so that I brought them home thinking one day I'll build one.
It's like that Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time.
Yeah.
Well, and truly, it didn't cost you a dime.
That's right.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And the dove will know it's you when you come driving through that town. There
you go.
Look, what the hell is that thing?
Right.
Well, that's a good segue. Talking about kind of the gear. So we wanted to give another. For those of you, this is going to be your first dove hunt. Regardless of what state you're in. It's really kind of all the same. So let's talk about guns first, I guess. That's we'll start the most expensive and move our way down. Jimmy, what do you hunt with? Tell everybody what you hunt with.
I hunt with a 20 gauge Yieldies side by side.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Obviously breech load.
And why did you go with the side by side as opposed to the over and under?
Because it was unique to me.
Right.
Truly, I mean,
I thought it's because you like Western movies.
Well, that too. I mean, that's really cool,
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it seemed like everyone has the over under now, or still does, So I was like, I'm going to change it up a little.
Sure. And for those of you who don't know, Mr. Jimmy does not follow trends. So if it's going this way, he's going the other way. Yeah, for sure. Now, can you tell our beautiful listening audience the name of your side-by-side?
Double D.
Yeah, right. Nice. Very nice. So we'll leave that at that.
Multiple meetings. Right.
Yeah, right. So my gun of choice is a 20 gauge as well. So I shoot a 20 gauge over and under Brownie Satori. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a semi fancy gun. But the story was I got a little bit of money when I was growing up, and again, so just kind of backtracking here. My philosophy when I was a young man when I was post-college, I basically knew that, I was going to get married and have children, basically be extremely poor, which, well, you didn't need a crystal ball to tell me that because here I am, gray-haired and poor. So I went bananas. I went and I bought 2 of everything, and it was fantastic. Well, that shotgun was one of them. So I think I ended up getting that gun in like 2006, something of that nature, and it's just been a gem. I'll tell you what, though, if you're on the fence of whether do I really want to spend that much money, you on a nice shotgun, you have to be okay getting scratches. You have to be okay, it getting beat up. My stock's a little beat up, but that's okay. It's my Dove gun, so it's my dog's knocked it over, so it's okay. So yeah. But I love it. It's a great gun. It's light. I just throw it up and fire. So it's been really good. As far as shells are concerned, I'm not really loyal to any brand. I am more about shot size than anything. Now, when we hunted in Lubbock, Texas, we use 20 gauge 7.5 shot size. Which is going to be a little bit bigger than the typical 8-shot, and the 7.5 we felt was good because we just seemed to get a lot bigger birds up there. They're grain fed, lots of sorghum, lots of wheat, that's just being sowed. So we really felt like that was really good. I think 7.5 is really good for white-winged dove too. They're bigger than the mourning dove. So that's just kind of what I've stuck with. Jimmy, what do you shoot shot size wise?
Yeah, I have the same. I'm not like you. I don't really think about it too much, to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah. I lose sleep over it. I can't help it.
I'm pretty sure what I have in there left over from last year was 7.5.
Right.
Pretty sure.
Right.
But I don't know. You kind of put me on the spot there.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
And I'm like you. I don't the brand.
Right.
That's not that big a deal to me.
Right.
Really, it's
right.
I have Winchester right now, but I had Remington all the way to the Federal Estate.
Yep.
Whatever.
Right.
I don't. Some people may care more than that, but
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had the money to shoot like Kent dove loads. That's some super handcrafted stuff, but not there yet for sure. So, but yeah, as far as guns are concerned, the 20 gauge I think is probably standard. But I take that back. I bet you a majority of folks use a 12 gauge, and then there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, just know that. Oh yeah, you did.
What did I just curse? Sorry.
I don't think so.
For the first. I don't know, several years of my dove hunting career. I used my super mag 12 gauge pump.
Yep.
Then I got smart because it was like, that's pretty heavy.
So yeah. But you get a 8-shot,
like 20 gauge.
Yeah. Just don't take super close shots because I mean if you become a decent shot with a shotgun and you're hitting these birds up close, it's going to be tough to identify the body. So.
Oh, yeah, I remember I blew up several.
Yep.
Just feathers.
I believe it. I believe it. But when you become a real good shot and or have a lot of money, you can. My dad and his friends go to the 410 or the 28 gauge. But see, my problem is, and you can make the argument that as long as you're a good shot, you have just as good a chance. My argument is that I just am so obsessed with getting that those little gray birds in my bag that. I mean, if I could use a cannon, I would. That's just it's become that now. I don't. Again, it's an obsession. So, yeah, for sure. So in decoy wise, I think we use the same. We touched on a few minutes ago. We both use the Mojos. The Mojos are super effective in the beginning of the season. Obviously, they a little bit later in the season they do get a little mojo shy. Now, you will find that a lot of migratory birds will just kind of hover over it thinking, my God, what is this thing? So, but Mojos are really, really effective. I really highly recommend that, before you head out to your hunting place, though, make sure that you get a good change of batteries because it's, there's nothing more frustrating than getting out there and not having any batteries. So, right. But you brought up a good point too. There's a lot of y'all that hunt in really windy places. And if you do, a simple dowel rod and one of those air dove decoys works extremely well too. So
are you going to break out your, what is it? The Dove Frenzy?
I need to, I need to do that. Yeah. That's my Hunter's Edge and it's freaking fantastic. That's a really good point. Yeah. I need to break that out. Let me see if I can get a video of. I'll make a note right now. But that thing was really, really cool. I loved it. And remember the design on the wings? Really cool.
Yep. So, probably wouldn't hurt. You put it down there by the edge of the water, maybe, or something.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that could be cool.
For sure. Awesome. So, what do you? What about clothes? What about hunting? What about camo? Do you wear camo?
So I wear Dove shorts is what what they are, and they are camo shorts. Right. With they're like cargo pants, cargo shorts basically, but they're camo. Right. Nice. And I like that because even though we have the chairs and you sit there and you can have your shells next to you and whatnot. I like the cargo shorts because I could put a whole handful of shells in there, and if I'm kind of on my own out there, if I walk out to pick up a dove or whatever and I retrieve it, I could put the dove carcass into my other side of my shorts.
Yep.
And then, if I'm out there and the dove are still flying, I kind of just shoot a couple more and I could put, 2 to 4 bodies in my pants on the way back. So, and obviously since we're in Texas, it's 1,000,000 degrees outside typically. So it's nice to wear shorts.
I agree.
And then I just wear basically either a kind of a brown maroon fishing shirt, or I have that green fishing shirt that I've worn forever with cigar burns in it and stuff like that. But it works.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, I kind of basically dress the same way. I've got my snake boots on, and he's not lying when he talks about having the cargo shorts. It's amazing when you go out there to retrieve a dove. Now, of course, my dog is 10 years old now, and she's got a heart pump problem. So I've really past 2 years I've kind of kept her out of the heat. So early season I got to get on my own birds, which is not all that fun, especially for a guy who's used to the dog getting them. But he's right. Having cargo pants or like say for extra shells and the birds. I mean, it's happened to me so many times. It's nice to kind of have that luxury. Now I also wear a bird belt. But half the time, I normally just end up taking that off and hanging it on my Mac Daddy caddy chair, and it's really nice. But yeah, I typically I'm the same with Jimmy. I've got kind of a range of different colored shirts, all that are drab in nature, everything from grays to to greens and things of that nature. So obviously, doves see in color. They've got great eyesight. So. But I've typically found as long as you're not dancing around, especially early season, and if you're in a good flight path, okay, that's also really important. And that'll be our segue. I think you can get onto them. So we'll talk a little bit about tips. I think one of the most important thing to be able to have a good shoot, especially early on, is doing your scouting. Okay. And watching the weather. Okay. And then, so I mentioned at the beginning of this little episode that, the Rancho Bandito, the tank that we hunt is looking pretty good. Okay. Well, it's really one of the only big water sources, kind of in that area. Well, just driving to there's some back ways of getting there. Other people's property, I have been seeing some water. So that's going to be one of the big differences between this year and last year is that, we've got water. Well, so does everybody else. All right. So Dove would just assume drink out of their tank is my tank. So I've got to take that into consideration as far as where I sit. But we've also got a lot of sunflower. We've got some good roosting trees. So I still think we're going to be in pretty good shape. But, people, think, well, you scout for deer, you scout for turkeys. Why you scout for dove as well? It will not hurt you to get, case, 2 or 3 cases and all your friends, 15, 20 cigars, thing of vodka, whatever it may be. Go out there with your buddies and sit away from there and watch the activity. If you've got birds coming in there, chances are they'll be doing that later. So scouting, I think, is huge. And I, people ask me a lot, okay, would you rather hunt water or would you rather hunt a sunflower field? My problem is that when it starts to rain, you're screwed as far as water is concerned, right? In fact, that's well documented. That's what happened to me last year, when I wanted to throw myself off a bridge. The October just
it was ridiculous.
It was insane. I mean, I one time I saw Noah, him and his sons, and all my dove were on his boat. Oh God, I was so mad. But nothing we can do about it. Again, it's bittersweet, right? Because we need the rain, but man, it messed things up because we had puddles everywhere. Tanks were starting to fill up. So guess what? If I didn't have food to hunt over, which I didn't, you were in trouble. Mm-hmm. So people again ask me, what would you rather hunt over? I preferred to hunt over food because it lasts a hell of a lot longer. And it can't really blow away, right? Or it can't evaporate. So I prefer to hunt over food. Something else to consider, and I know for a fact because I'm kind of sick like that, and I remember a lot of what we talk about. Another area for hunting dove that we have not talked about is over, believe it or not, is over a rock quarry. Dove don't have acid in their stomach like we do. Okay, so that's why you see dove on the side of the road. You see them in the streets, things of that nature. They're out there picking up little pebbles, and what they do is, remind me, Jimmy. We'll take a video of this when we're cleaning our limited birds, knock on wood. You'll actually see, a bunch of seeds, and you'll see little pieces of gravel in there. And what they do is they constrict their craw, which is where they keep all their seeds, and that really crushes all that seed down, and they can digest it. So I've had really good hunts over some rock quarries. So if you can get all those things together, cover, trees, water, food, and rock, I mean, oh my God, you're like in the hunting a dove palace. Mm-hmm. But again, scouting is the only way that you're gonna know that. So that's my first tip is scout.
And it's just fun anyway.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Kind of going back to clothes and whatnot real quick. You quickly touched on it, your snake boots.
Yeah.
What is it? Seems like this summer, especially down at the ranch, there's been more snake sightings and then of course hear about other encounters of snakes more than I can remember.
Yes.
For a while. So I mean, obviously, snake boots are a big important thing.
Well, they are. They are.
Them.
Yeah, and I really don't. I don't care where you are. I mean, I know Texas is notorious for rattlesnakes and and everything. And they say in Texas either scratch, sting, sticks, or bites, which is definitely true. But snake boots will also just kind of keep you safe from the elements. Walking through brush, things of that nature. Especially if you're not wearing pants, which me, I can't stand wearing pants. So. I never do, but yeah, no, they're a must for sure.
Yeah, but you just make a good point, and I just put 2 and 2 together here. While I say I wear shorts, and I always do, 9 times out of 10.
Right.
If you're saying the sunflowers are like they are, I think I might end up wearing pants at least the first
Well,
the first hunt. I don't just because they can't really get
right.
rip you apart a little bit sometimes.
Well, that's very true. Sunflowers are not very easy on the legs. I don't think we're going to be in there. I think we're going to be hunting adjacent to them, and that's another little point. It's more of a strategy thing. Again, these sunflowers are probably they're near this tank. So call it 20 yards, okay, and there's like 20 acres worth of them. So they're not ready to cut yet. They're not ready to shred. But I do know that there's some dead heads in there. Okay, I'm not talking about Grateful Dead heads either. And so the birds are probably in there, but we're not going to go in there and kill a bunch of new sunflower yet. We're going to let it head out and then probably shred and all that kind of stuff because we got to get ready for wheat too anyway. But we're hopeful that those birds will hit that sunflower and then we'll come over and hit the tank. At least that's what we're betting on.
Well, I don't know. I feel good. I feel good about it this year. We'll be okay.
I do too. Well, I do too. And if I don't, there's a big box of Kleenex and some aspirin I can take, so I'll not keel over.
Right. Well, as long as Tech beats Montana State, then we'll be. Sorry to bring it back to that, but
if that doesn't happen, we have reached a do not pass go, do not collect $200 type scenario. This podcast is officially over because I will be. Yep.
So let's see. Still 15 bird limit this year, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yep. They haven't adjusted
15 and 30 in your possession. So that's kind of people. Oh, was that 15 a day? And what happens if I eat them? The way the law states is that if we lived at Rancho Bandito, God, I wish we did, and that was our permanent residence, we could have that's their final resting place or whatever. So we could have, I think we could have 30 there total. So for most of y'all that are on hunting lease.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Per hunter or whatever.
Yes, per hunter. Yeah, per license.
Yeah.
So for most of y'all that are on leases or go out to places near your homes or whatever, you can. If you're on leases, rather, I think you can. The way it ends up in this year, and this is just the North Texas opening. The South Texas dove season, which I think is south of San Antonio, doesn't open until like the 15th. Or it may open earlier. I'm not sure, but you can shoot 15 on Sunday and then 15 on Monday, and then you've got to take them back to your home, and then theoretically, if you did that, you could return on Tuesday and shoot 15 on Wednesday, so on and so forth. Which, by the way, is obviously one of my dreams, to be able to hunt dove all day, every day. I mean, within legal means, of course, would be huge.
Why does my brain remember the number 45? Was it ever where you could have 45 on your possession?
No, I don't think so. No. It's always been so the northern zone was the old northern zone was 15. So Lubbock, we're up there in Lubbock, we were killing 15 at a time, and then the central, which is where the Rancho Bandito is, where it was 12.
Yeah, I remember it being 12 for a while.
And then down south it was 12 for a while. Now it's all 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, but obviously, I think the biggest tip that we can give to anybody who's who's starting out is, if you're a new hunter, don't new to dove hunting. Couple of things. Obviously, safety first. That's common sense. Okay, don't get excited. When you set up on a tank, when you set up on a field, be smart about it. Wherever you sit, and for those of y'all that are hunting in these big, paid hunts where there's 50 people on a 50-acre field, be careful. That you can get shot really quick. So just try to be mindful of where you're sitting. Before you start shooting, talk about your zones. Okay, I got from here over to here. As far as your earplugs are concerned, the hearing protection, I typically sync an earplug on my right ear since I'm right-handed. In my left ear, I sync another one, but I don't sync it as deep. And I do that so that I can still hear a little bit. If Jimmy's having an issue or he needs to get a hold of me, he can do that. And that's kind of a safety thing,
Right. Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Sure. And it helps you hear your music a little better if you're jamming out as well. So it's not like deer necessarily where you got to be totally quiet. At least I'm not. I like to have some Texas country going or something of that nature in the background.
Oh yeah, I think the other thing you gotta remember is, with it being super super hot out there, bring plenty of water. Guys love to drink beer, and I do too. But I typically leave the beer till the hunt is through, and also remember your dogs. If you got dogs out there, make sure you keep them good and hydrated. I love hunting my dog, at any time of the year, obviously, but especially around water. Keeps them cool and keeps them refreshed. Unfortunately, my baby is 10 years old, like I said, with a heart pump problem. So, unfortunately, I will not be hunting her very much in the early September, but hopefully late September, October, we can get her out there and have some fun. So,
all right,
yeah.
I think that's a lot to get people fired up. I think for the weekend. Hopefully, everyone listening is going out there.
Oh, I hope so too.
For opening weekend.
Yep.
One thing I would say before I forget, if anyone, let us know how your opening weekend goes. Shoot us an email. We'd love to hear. Yes. Or email us at howdy@feedbandit.com. Let us know, or go on to our Facebook page. Be sure to like us.
Yes,
Feed Bandit on Facebook. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Feed Bandit. And you can follow us on Twitter. It's at The Feed Bandit on Twitter, because there already actually was a Feed Bandit on Twitter, believe it or not. But
really,
someone out of Germany or something. It's,
what do they do?
I'm not sure they meant it the same way we did. So it's
probably not. Well, no. I mean, I don't know. They hunt deer over there in Germany.
But I'd have to go back and look. Right. But I don't think that's. But anyway, point is. Let us know how your opening weekend goes, and
please.
What I'm thinking, unless you wanted to go into something else tonight, is that our next podcast we can recap our opening weekend, how it went.
Yep.
We can then talk about maybe some other stories that we can think of from the past, as well as talk about how do we cook our dove. What are the different kind of ways to do it and whatnot. So kind of like we'll come back in on the backside and talk about what we did, over the weekend.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Sound good?
Oh, it sounds great. Yeah, I got to, just for a mental note to get you guys excited. I've had some crazy stuff happen to me in my dove hunting days. To include taking so many shots at one dove who just started circling me like a fly that I had to do something with my gun, and I'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, and before we sign off, anyone who's going out, to your land or whatever, and you haven't bought your hunting license yet,
yes,
do what we're going to do this weekend, and go to your local feed store and buy your hunting license.
Please.
You got a lot of options, so you might as well support. Like as we always say, support your local feed store.
Yep.
And if you don't have shells, maybe buy some there if they have them.
Yep.
That type of thing. So
do it. Let's. We are starting a movement. No doubt, we are starting a movement. We are going to. We're supporting small town Texas and small town USA, bringing that money from the city to the country. That's our goal.
Do your part. Do your little part. Every little bit helps.
Yep.
All right. You got anything else before we sign off on this one?
I think that is it. Man, it's that time. Cherish it. Obviously, bring your kiddos out if you can. Make preparations for it. Seriously, you have no idea just how much one single little act can change a kid's life. Not to get too sentimental, but no, my life changed. Within 1 second. I was 7 years old, and I know we talked about this before. I was 7 years old, and my dad called me, and I remember being at the kitchen phone, and he said, "Hey, you want to go hunting with me?" And I get the goosebumps thinking about it, because it's just that one single moment. I'm like, oh my God, yes. Are you kidding me? And it changed my life forever, and look at me now. You know, I'm a supermodel. I've got several Pulitzer Prizes.
And you have an amazingly successful podcast.
Yes. God, I mean, seriously. But no, all jokes aside, even though I am a supermodel, it can change a kid's life. Get them interested in the outdoors, for God's sakes. It's quite literally, it's your duty, and you never know. You could have the next NRA spokesman or next Quail Unlimited spokesman. We don't know. So do your part. I'll be doing ours. And Jim, I know you will be too eventually.
Yes, sir. ASAP.
Well, my girls are out there shooting birds, and yeah. God, it's crazy.
It is. Time flies.
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, thanks everybody out there for listening to this edition of Feed Bandit Podcast. We really appreciate it, and stay tuned now that we're getting into dove season and any really hunting season through the end of the year. Gonna have some fun stuff to talk about out here. So, and please let us know how things are going for you. So you can email us at howdy@feedbandit.com and all the other social media spots and whatnot. So with that, we'll wish everybody out there good luck this coming season, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Thanks for listening to the Feed Bandit Podcast. Just a reminder to text the word bandit to 345-345. And when you do, you'll join our email list, where we'll send killer deals on innovative hunting products and services, along with entertaining tips and tricks, straight to your inbox. You don't want to miss out, so again, text the word bandit to 345-345, and we look forward to seeing you on the hunt. Until next time, have a good one, and remember to support your local feed store.